Are your prospective customers able to find you on Google? Having your website be found for the important keywords for your business can be a challenging thing to do. Ranking well for relevant keywords takes a lot of search engine optimization or SEO, but more often than not, there's a couple key issues that are stopping you from ranking well. In this short video, I'm going to share the top 5 reasons that your website might not be ranking well. So reason number one, and probably the most obvious, is that the content doesn't exist on your website at all. In order to be found for something, you have to actually have that content living on your website somewhere. If the content doesn't exist, you're not going to be found for it. This may sound really simple, but I have a lot of clients that come to me saying they're not ranking for something, but you go to their website, it's not on their blog, it's not on their product pages, it's not on their homepage. So why would Google rank them for something they don't even have on their website? So step one is really just making sure you have the content available with the relevant keywords added to it. Reason number two is that the content isn't optimized. Yes, you may have that content on your website, but in order for Google's search engine robots called crawlers to understand what's on that page, the keywords and information has to be in the right spot. So making sure you're putting things, title tags, making sure you have headings that make sense, things like metadata, so meta titles and meta descriptions, all of that kind of stuff signals to Google what that page is about, and it'll rank you for things that are relevant for those keywords. So always be sure if you're putting in the time to create the content, you're also adding that additional time in to optimize that content for SEO. Reason number three is there's link issues. The way that Google and Bing and other search engines crawl the web is they actually use links, looking at which pages and which websites link to one another. In order to be found, in order to be indexed, you have to have relevant links, both pointing to you and pointing outwards. Always make sure you have internal links, and those are links that basically link between pages on your website. And more importantly, if you have a page that's very important for SEO, have other pages on your website linked to that page too. Providing those internal links helps show Google what are the most important pages on your website. And to really move the needle on your rankings, have other websites linked to you. This builds up your domain authority and tells Google that your website has relevant content on it. The more high quality external websites that link back to your website, the higher your domain authority will be, and the better you'll rank overall in Google searches. Number four is user experience. Just like every other business, Google cares about the user experience of their users. Google knows that if people go onto Google, they search something, they click on a link, and they have a bad experience, that's going to look bad on Google's part too, not just on the actual website that show up in the results. Generally speaking, people just want to have a good experience when they're trying to find information through Google searches. So what does this mean to you? It means you need to care about your user experience on your website. The two big things that Google tends to look at are speed and mobile friendliness. From a speed perspective, try to make sure your website loads in under 2 seconds. You also don't want too many extra resources or large files on your website or on your web page, because that'll make it harder for people on mobile devices on the cellular networks to download your web page too. You'll never get speed perfect, but you definitely want it to be good. And then the other aspect, mobile friendliness, basically means can your website be used on a smartphone device? So basic things like, is the design responsive? Are buttons far enough apart that thumbs can touch them? Or things like, are phone numbers clickable? Really anything that makes your website more usable on a mobile device. And last but not least, number five is technical issues. As I mentioned earlier, the way that Google looks at websites is their search engine robots called crawlers go through page by page and index the information. If they run into technical issues, that might stop those crawlers from effectively going and looking at your content. So things like redirects that are wrong, images that are missing, or technical issues with sitemaps can all stop those crawler robots from effectively going through your website and indexing your content. You always want to make sure your website doesn't have any technical issues that are stopping Google from seeing your content, especially if you put a lot of effort into creating the content in the first place. So those are the top 5 reasons I see your website not ranking well. Let me know your thoughts or questions in the comments.